got that off. We got, what's up? 6. And we got 6 bolts, 6 screws to take out. And really, I'm just trying to fix this little rust spot. I don't know how deep it goes, but in order to get to that, or actually see how deep it goes, I had to take this up. So, y'all stay tuned. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it don't look like it's rusted all the way through. And to be honest, I don't think it's enough to have to take this whole top off. So I think I'm gonna get something to sand it down, put some rust reformer on it. I might hit it with some fiberglass Bondo. I may just spray over it, because I'm not getting it painted right now, so there's no reason to go through that additional step. I don't know, but I ain't no body man, I'm not a paint man. I'm just gonna fix it to my liking. On second view of this situation, I see that I do got 2 holes that are through, which probably should have understood that. And yeah, I'll fix that. I'll put some fiberglass on it, get it as smooth as possible. I still don't know if I want to take this top all the way off, but I probably end up doing it just so I can make sure that the fix and any other potential situations are taken care of too. So I'll get back with y'all. All right, so this is another part of taking this off. If you get done with doing that, come around here, and the 3 bolts in the trunk I was telling you about. I'm removing this trim right here because I believe there has to be some stuff holding it down behind this trim, because you can't lift that up, and I think that's what's keeping it down. So we're gonna see. All right, so catching y'all up on the opera lights. I did end up finding some opera lights online, which I could order them, but I did find some in Mobile, so I think I'm gonna go pick them up, find a nice little location to meet them people and get that. But drilling out the rivets are working. I'm glad I went with that route because it ain't tearing nothing up. So I'm gonna take this completely off because I think it'd be better. I have more room to work with. Probably end up taking the headliner down too, just so, because I think I'm a weld. So while we're in there, let's get it done. So yeah, I could tell this has been off before, and the person that put it back on there, they put rivets over here because I believe that these are the original screws that came in it, and maybe they didn't have screws that size, so they put rivets in there that's that size. That is that size. I mean, I got the trim off, so now it's just the adventure of getting it put back on when it's time to put it back on. And it is definitely what's keeping this top down. Or, yeah, I was gonna say maybe it wasn't these screws, but I don't know. I want to believe it's these screws, because I don't understand why they would have so many of these screws and so little of those rivets over there. And this ain't the original. It's not supposed to be screws right here, and they got silicone right here. So that's definitely have come out before, and they painted these, so that's easy to, I'm sorry. This ain't the original screws. Hey, there shouldn't even be screws right there, as a matter of fact. And this has silicone, which they painted, which, I mean, they did a good job. I don't know if they painted it or what, I don't know. This ain't got to come off, so I ain't gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna get these little screws off, and hopefully that'll allow this to lift up. All right, let's go. And there we go. All right. So let's get a look at what we got to do. We got bubbles right here. We're going to clean, treat that. Everywhere you see some rust is getting clean and treated, no matter how it looks. That's the other hole that I was telling you about. Look at this roof. It's crazy. The color probably don't even show up on here, but it's real yellow under here. I'm glad I'm doing it though. So the man told me it would be about $200 and something to take the top off, which after taking the top off, I can see why. Because there's a lot of parts that you want to be gentle with. Because if you break it, then you gotta fix it. You know what I mean? Like, it's obvious right here, this was broken at one point, and they did the best they could to fix it. It looked good. None of the lights worked anymore, so that's why I'm getting those lights again. This is not stopped. Rivets aren't stopped in this area because you need to be able to take them off, right? So we're gonna fix that. I ain't gonna worry about that. It is what it is. I have no idea what they did there. Everywhere you see rust is getting treated. This right here, getting treated. Good thing it's not rusted through. I have no idea what they did getting this out. But yeah. And like I say, there we go. Okay. We about to get to it. All right. So, I don't know if y'all saw on the last video, I thought this was, it was some tape on here, but I thought it was like from the factory tape. No, it was not from the factory tape. It was from the previous repair, or I think they just changed the top. I think that's what they did. And they noticed some small holes, and instead of fixing the metal right then and there because it's cheaper, they just put some tape over it just to make sure that if it did get up in there, water wouldn't continue to get down in there. But water does what it does. It did, or possibly did. I don't know how bad it looked the first time they uncovered this, but I got it right here. I got it over there, and I got a bigger hole over there, just like basically about the same size as this hole. Now I need to figure out, okay, are you gonna cut this metal out and weld it? Which I'm almost of the mind to say, yes, I'm gonna do that, because I don't know how Bondo will react under here with water still getting up in there and stuff like that. So my plan is try to make it more of a permanent fix. Wanted to be riding back soon, but I knew that wasn't gonna happen anyway, because I still gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with these upper lights and the trim. Although I do have some of the clips for the trim, I don't have them all. Still thinking about possibly buying some opera lights and letting the opera lights do their thing. So we gonna see. But this can't be here no more. That can't be here no more either, and that over there that's all gotta go. So let's see what I can do. Maybe me, maybe somebody else, I don't know. We gonna see. Oh man, we'll be back. So now I'm gonna use some of this rust reformer. I still gotta get that hole and that hole and that in the middle, but I'm gonna use the rust reformer on the ones that I've already done so that they'll be ready for whatever I gotta do to them, whether I got to put some Bondo on them or whatever I gotta do, they'll be ready. While this battery charges for this grinder, I'm not gonna lie, probably one of the best things I ever bought, just for the simple fact of I don't have to hook up my compressor and stuff like that, and it works good. I can't complain about it. This little thing got so I still got some metal from when I was doing parts of the Caprice. I think I can clean that up and use it for this top. Just cut out a square, get in there and get it done. Duct tape they were using. I mean, I'm not mad at them. Like I said, this car is 30-something years old. They were just trying to keep it on the road for their mother. She lived till she was 80-something, and she was the only owner of the car. I mean, other than the little parts where you could tell that they just rigged some stuff, this ain't a bad car. Every car gonna have its issues. Those of y'all that were worried about me putting that rusty piece of metal in my roof of my car, I'm not. Soaking it right now, and it's getting a lot of the, if you notice, if you look back in the video, that's a lot better than it was. I'm soaking it in this Vapor Rust right now before I do anything. You don't want to cut out rust and put rust in there. It got to be clean before you can weld anyway. Weld. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I welded this so you can see where it was welded, but I'm not no welder. I'm just, and I ain't no body man either, but hey, I know that can be fixed with some, know-how. Yeah. All right. So I was just test fitting the old piece back in before I cut the new piece. And I took the headliner down, and when I get in there, you're gonna see why I took that headliner down. And I was gonna get a guy to fix. There was some rust right here. I bondoed that. I might end up cutting that out later on, not right now, but fixing it. But this is why I took the headliner out. Let's see. See if we can get some light on the situation. You can see in there. I'm gonna cut the light on. Give me one second. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to get up in there and clean that and spray it with some rust reformer. Hopefully that helps the situation and doesn't hurt the situation. But when I was doing it, I couldn't get under it because I hadn't took this down. But now that I see what I'm working with, I'm definitely going to try to get up in there with a little brush. It don't gotta be much, but just to get that scale off. And after I do that, then I put a little primer on it or something just to keep it from continuing to rust. But this is really why I took that headliner down. If I try to weld with that headliner up, this material right here, probably gonna cause a fire. So yeah, most definitely need to be careful in this area. So tomorrow, because I don't want to make my neighbors mad, I'll cut some more and I'll probably be welding. This is a big step over here too. Yeah, clean that, clean all that. Good thing is over here I didn't get any of that, so definitely gonna clean off in there to prevent any type of continued corrosion, cancer as they call it. Eventually I'll get a piece from another car, cut it out and weld it in there. I'm not that confident in my welding abilities, but because of the holes in the top, I gotta do something. So we'll get on this tomorrow. All right, so we got the piece cut to go in there. I thought I had some better clamps than this, but I think honestly this is, as you can tell, it's keeping it. I want to keep it as flush as possible. I don't want that to lift. Worst case scenario, we got to grind the wheel. But I wouldn't want it to lift, to be honest with you. But since this corner is the most flush, I think I'm on, this corner is the most flush. I think I'm gonna hit that corner first. I think I'm gonna go tat, 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 tat. Then I'm gonna go boom, 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 boom. So it's not gonna wanna pull in any direction. It's gonna be solid. I'm gonna cover this. So, and I already got this in there. This right here, it's a welding apron. I mean, it does seem like it can burn, as you can tell, but I rather have that in there than nothing at all. And I got a fire extinguisher. So if anything bad happens, we got a fire extinguisher. Boom. All right, we'll be back. We got that one. I got a little raised, but I ain't no professional, so now it's on to the next one. This gonna get covered with body filler and it'll be smooth, so I ain't worried about it. Now I'm just gonna focus on doing better. I'm gonna focus on doing better on this one. All right, so we done welding. Next is cleaning this up. After I get all this clean, then I can do Bondo and I can make sure that this is somewhat level, because I ain't a professional, once again. There is some warping, but I mean, I tried to fix it the best I could by heating it up and putting a jack under there, kind of jacking it up. I think it looked better than it did, but hey, you're not gonna see none of this anyway. From here back, you ain't gonna see none of that anyway. I just need to make sure that this up here looks good and that it is straight, you know, that's it. So once we get this cleaned, we'll be back probably after I start putting the Bondo and stuff in there. All right, so at this moment, I'm about to put this battery on. I got 80 grit sandpaper on there, and I'm gonna scuff it so that when I put the filler on there, it got something to adhere to, because this is old paint and it just needs something to adhere to. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it good. Like I said, I know y'all can see that warping on the camera, but I ain't worried about it. Fixing it to, let's say looks good for my house. So somewhere between, okay, so now somewhere between a month ago and now I had the bright idea to add rivets here, yeah, that's how you say it. And they are sealed rivets. So even if water got down in there, it would destroy the rivet, before it actually destroyed the top. And I want to be able to take this top off as easy as possible next time. So I think I'm gonna do it on the top for sure. And I'm probably gonna fill in these little holes where screws had gone in before and do little rivets around here. They may not be blind because they weren't blind to begin with. I mean, they weren't sealed to begin with anyway. I'm probably just gonna do that, regular rivets. All right. Let me get back to it. Okay, you see I had to bring the welder back out. Let me explain why. Okay. This rivet, I'll tell you later, went in perfect. This one had about a 1/4 inch of filler to bring it back up smooth. So it was no way possible for it to go in like it needed to. And pretty much the rest of them too. I mean, some of them went in good, but I didn't want to chance it. So I'm welding every last nut. I put the screw in there, if you could tell, so that when it welds, even if a hole goes through, it won't mess up the thread. So, I mean, it worked on those 3 down there. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do it on 1, 2, and this one's good. So I'm not even gonna fool with it. I really want to almost take it out because the threading got messed up anyway when I was using the rivet. But it's harder to take this out than it is to just use what I got. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so we got it painted. I painted it. I ain't gonna say we got it painted. I painted it. It's drying. This is the clear coat, first clear coat. I'm quite sure I'm gonna have to sand it because I came all the way up here with it and you can already see some runs. Yeah, I don't know if the dry patches are showing through, but I see some dry patches too, and I don't know if that's just where it gotta dry some more, but some runs on where the hood starts to curve now. But I mean, I'm okay with it. Hey, we'll see. You can't really tell on the video. It's actually probably worse in person, but hey, 20 feet away, you can't tell me. I'm doing this myself. I ain't never really did no work like this. Still loving how the top turned out and how I'm future-proofing it so it doesn't leak anymore. Doesn't rust anymore, things of that nature. That's the biggest part of this whole thing. Then I start putting the top back on. We got other things in the work, like this center console that I built, putting a new radio back in there, and that piece of wood right there, that's because we're putting a screen in it. And the reason we're putting a screen in it is because it's a hard top, not a convertible. And what you got a roof for if you ain't gonna put a screen in there from the south? So, if you don't like it, you'll be all right.
So on this part right here, I'm just talking about the paint. Altogether, the paint cost me about $1,500. I didn't do it. I took it to a guy that my cousin knew. It turned out pretty good for the price. Couldn't really be mad at it. I mean, way better than I could have done. and probably would have took me $1,500 in all kinds of stuff to try to get it done myself. But there are a few errors, or a few minor errors in the paint, few flaws, and I'm pointing them out right here, right there. Some delamination, also some on the fender. Like I say, $1,500 paint job, can't really be mad at it. He made it look a lot better than I did. They did happen to break a few pieces on my like that louver on the side. I was gonna take them out anyway, but you know, I wasn't really mad at it because those things, they old, they brittle. It probably happened while they were painting it. Not really tripping. I was talking about some of the upgrades, like the pinstriping that I put on there, the LED opera lights. They did have this sequential turn signal on it, but I had to unhook them because the brake lights, the reverse lights, all that are all on the same circuit. So whenever I hit the brakes, they came on, and just didn't like the way it looked. Looked like an emergency vehicle driving down at night. There was a dead spot in one of the lights after going through the whole setup. That was a little peek at the screen, the dash screen, and the center console. That center console did not turn out the way I wanted it, but I mean, it sounds so good, and there's not a lot of space in these Roadmasters to put a center console, so I had to kind of finesse it. Still just talking about how, you know, there are some flaws in the paint, but it turned out pretty good.
Hey, we getting there. We getting there. I still got the chrome trim to put on the back. I had some JB Weld over one of the holes that came out, but that JB Weld came out, and I want to make sure that this is pretty much not gonna rust again. So I'm gonna go to the store and get some JB Weld. When I come back, we will have the chrome trim on there. Then we're gonna clean the rims. We're gonna get them put back on there. So far, the inside is pretty clean. So we coming.